What's going on, guys? This is my brand new Honda Prologue, and the funny thing is that I'm not an EV person, I'm not an SUV person, but I ended up with this vehicle. And you know, when I was doing my research, there weren't that many videos that weren't done by car reviewers or people at the dealership, and there were a lot of questions that I had that just weren't answered. So I'm an actual owner, and in this video I'm going to go over some of the things that I think you should know if you're considering picking up a Prologue. Before we get started, there are going to be chapters, so you can go ahead and skip through and find what you're looking for. So here's how I actually ended up with this vehicle. Like I said, I'm not an EV person and I've never owned an SUV, but somehow I have a Prologue here. Now you can go ahead and skip this if you want to, but I was in a 2022 Honda Civic Sport. I had that on lease. I do leases. That's kind of what I do. And my lease was up in about 3 months. And like any, you know, when you buy it from the dealership, they're always calling you, wanting you to come down and check out their new vehicles. And I was like, okay, it's the end of the year. Let me look up some lease deals. And there were some decent lease deals going on. The Prologue had a really good price, at least advertised by like the main Honda website. And I went down there and they were trying to put me in a Honda Civic Sport for a horrible price. The exact same price, or actually more expensive than what I'm paying for this right now. I wasn't happy with that. They wouldn't even sell me the Prologue, really. They said something crazy like $7,000 down and like $500 a month, which is like, again, I thought it was crazy considering Honda.com is advertising at least the EX model for, I think, under $200 or like around $200 a month on a lease. So I called all the local Honda dealerships in my area. I'm in San Diego, and DCH Honda in Mission Valley, they got back to me and they offered me this Prologue, which is the Elite trim, 10,000 miles a year, 36-month lease for $296 a month with $3,000 down. That's all in taxes, title, license, and everything. Considering my local Honda dealership wanted to give me a Honda Civic Sport for more than that, you know, same amount down and everything, I was very happy. And I was like, okay, well, let me go ahead and try an EV. I test drove it. I liked it. So that's kind of how I ended up with this Prologue. But if you're looking for Prologue lease deals, it seems, at least from my little bit of research, that there are certain Honda dealerships that will not do the main Honda lease deal. The local dealership by me was not advertising that Honda lease deal. They didn't want to sell me it, more or less. So you want to find the dealerships in your area that are advertising the Prologue lease deal, and you should be able to find a good deal. Like I said, I'm in San Diego. DCH Honda of Mission Valley is who I got this from. Now, I'm sure most of you know this, but under the hood, this is essentially a GM vehicle. So it's based on the GM Ultium platform, and that's essentially their EV platform. I'm not going to go into a ton of detail, but essentially under the hood, we have GM, and then the exterior styling is going to be all Honda. When it comes to looks, I have to say this is a pretty sleek looking car. Now you can definitely tell that Honda did design the exterior. When you look at this, you can definitely tell it's a Honda, but I do think it looks quite good overall. Now, one of my favorite things about this car is actually on the back. The Honda logo on the back is unlike any other Honda logo that I've seen on a Honda before. Just something cool and different. When it comes to color, I got the Sonic Gray Pearl. Now, this comes off as sort of a light blue, especially in sunlight. This is only available in the Touring and Elite trims. When it comes to size, here is the official dimensions of the Prologue. For all of you Honda people out there, it's going to be larger than a CR-V, but smaller than a Pilot. When I walked into the dealership, it was definitely larger than what I thought it would be, so definitely keep that in mind. As I said, I picked up the Elite trim. The Elite trim is going to have the 288 horsepower dual motor, and it's going to have a range of 273 miles. Now, everything that I talk about in this video is going to be related to the Elite trim, so some of the features you may not have if you get the EX or the Touring. The charging port is located right here on the front left of the vehicle. I actually like this because you don't have to back into spots like you would in a Tesla. You just press it in and it opens up and you're ready to charge. When you buy the Prologue, there are a couple different options when it comes to charging. So first you have the at-home charger. So that's going to give you the at-home charger, a $500 installation credit,
for that charger, and then $100 in public charging credits with EVgo. After that, you have the portable charging bundle. That's going to come with the portable charger that you see here, a $250 installation credit, and $300 in public charging through EVgo. And then finally, you just have the EVgo credits, which that's what I got. And that is just $750 in public charging credits through EVgo. There's no difference in price between all three of these, so keep that in mind. So if you want the home charger, go with the home charger, but if you want the credits and everything like that, you can go with that. But there's no difference in price. You just select one when you go ahead and buy the car. If you do opt for the EVgo credits, you can use them at charge point stations as well. I'll do a tutorial later on showing you how to do this, but it's really easy to open them up within the EVgo app. Now, if you're wondering if you can plug into the Tesla network, you definitely can, but you will need an adapter. There are a ton of tutorials online showing you how to use those adapters and how you do it within the Tesla app, but you can plug into the Tesla network with this car. You just need an adapter. When it comes to the mirrors here, you can see that they are folded in. Now, these are going to be automatic, but you do have to set that up yourself within the car. This was not set up automatically for me. So when you lock the car, they're in, you unlock the car, and they automatically come out. Same thing. So if I'm going to go ahead and lock the car, they fold right back in automatically. You do have the indicator here. So this is going to go ahead and light up when a car is beside you. It's also going to flash if you have your turn signal on and you're going to want to turn into this lane and it knows a car's there. This will flash as well. Now, when we go ahead and open the car up, it will show us what percentage of battery we have left and an idea of the miles. And then I'll go over all of that stuff here in a little bit. But when it comes to your seat adjustment, it is all right here. It's all electronic and really easy to use. And when you're sitting in the chair, it's really easy to access, and you can program it to the keys. So you can do that over here with the keys. So if driver one has one set of keys, they get in, this adjusts to them. And then when driver two gets in or unlocks it with the second set of keys, it's going to set to them. So if your wife needs to be really up close, you know, you don't want to get in the car and have to reset it each time. Just give her the second set of keys and you'll be good to go. Now, sitting in the driver's seat, this steering wheel is adjustable, so you can move it both up and down and in and out. On this side, we have most of your controls for answering calls and things like that, and to go through the menus on that screen there. Also in the Elite, you do get a heated steering wheel and you toggle that on right here. On the opposite side here, we do have everything for cruise control. So all your cruise control stuff is going to be right here. Now, you do have buttons on the back. So on this side, you have two buttons. That is back and forward when it comes to whatever you're listening to, or to change between like radio stations. It's right on the back here. And then on the opposite side, you also have two more. Those are volume up and volume down. So those are right there on the back. Your shift is going to be right here. So that's how you shift the car. So you pull that towards you and then you go up to go reverse, and then again, pull it towards you, go down to go into drive. You press the button on the end to go into park. Over here, we have everything for our windshield wipers. So you can set them on and off just by moving these. And this one is for the rear. This one is for your front windshield wiper. And then if you just need to like use your windshield wiper once, you just press this in once and it's just going to go, you know, use your windshield wiper once. And then if you press it twice, it's going to use your windshield wiper fluid, and I believe it goes 3 times. So pretty easy to do everything here. This is also how you're going to turn your blinkers on and off. Really easy to go ahead and do that with this. Now, we do have controls for our mirror, so everything is going to be right here. Really easy to do those, and then all of your windows right here. This is going to be that glossy black. It's just going to get dirty. That's kind of how it is. We do have a few more controls right there. So we have our park here. So that is going to put the car in park, or your parking brake. Sport mode, I think sport mode is only available on the Elite. So you're only going to get sport mode here on the Elite. You have your lane keep assist. I haven't tested this yet. I've heard it's not as good as what was like actually on the, you know, the previous Hondas. Your auto hold, and I believe this turns the brightness down on your interior lights. On the driver's side towards the floor is going to be your hood release here. And in order for it to work, you need to have the car in park and you need to have the driver's side door open. You notice that it does say X2. So that first one releases the hood. The second one unlatches it. So if we go 1, 2, that's going to fully unlatch the hood. With the hood unlatched, we can see what we have here. And one thing that's interesting is there's no hook to lock this. It kind of just does it over there. But that is what's under the hood. One thing compared to other EVs is that there's no front frunk or front trunk, nothing like that here. Now going ahead and turning the car on, there is our power button there. You need to have your foot on the brake and we hit the power button and everything is going to turn on. And if you're coming from a gas car, the biggest thing that you're going to notice is that after the beeps, there's no noise. You don't hear it. It's kind of hard to tell if the car's on. That's the thing that I had to get adjusted to. Now, in your sort of cluster here in the center, this is going to show you how much power you have remaining by percentage. So this is how much battery percentage we have left. Over here, it's going to show you how much power you're using and your recharge. Total miles on the car. Over here, this gives you an idea of how much range you have in terms of miles. If you're in park, all of that. This also over here shows you how many people have their seatbelt on. I don't have mine on, so it doesn't show anything. And then over here is going to be your music. If I had music, it would be showing over there, but I'm not playing anything currently. You can also toggle this to different modes. So if I go ahead and press this button here, I press that, and now we have the Google Maps view, and then we have this view. So we have a couple different views here that we can toggle through. Also, if you do have CarPlay connected, it will show Apple Maps, but I don't have this phone connected yet. But it will show the maps on here as well. But really easy to toggle through everything. And again, you can see everything quite easily on this sort of main menu here. One thing I did want to mention before we move on is that anytime you open this door and get out of the car, and you'll notice that beep. Hopefully you notice that beep. That beep does not turn off at all. There's no way to turn it off. Anytime you have the driver's side door open and the car's on, it's just going to beep like this nonstop. Moving to the center console here, it is quite big, especially me coming from a Civic. So starting up here, we have this nice storage space here, and all of these little like mats that are in here, they are removable, so you can go ahead and clean them out. I just have my keys here and some mints and gum. Right here, we do have 2 USB Type-C ports. These are fast charging, I believe, at least 30 watts, if not 45 watts. I can test it for you guys later if you want. But you get 2 Type-Cs here, and then you get the 12 volt right here. If you have anything that's 12 volts, you can plug it in right there. The cup holder, so you get 2 main cup holders here. They do have these like little insert things that are supposed to hold your cup. It will fit a big cup like this one, but if you take a turn hard, it will sort of go like this. It's happened to me. If you have one of these cups that have like the shorter bottom or the thinner bottom, they will kind of move over. And to give you an idea, here's another one. And again, this just is like, it will move around a bit. So just keep that in mind. Right here is a little slot for your phone. So this is actually a wireless charger. I have an iPhone that has a case on it, and I have had no issues with wireless charging. Just put it right in there and it charges wirelessly. This does have wireless CarPlay either, so you don't have to use the Type-Cs to do your CarPlay, or I'm not sure about Android Auto because I don't have an Android, but at least for CarPlay, it's all wireless, so you don't have to worry about plugging anything in right there. Of course, we have this. This is going to, put your arm there and be comfortable when you're driving. Opening it up, we have a ton of storage space in here. Like, look at all of that storage space. You do get down in there. You do get a little tray for coins or whatever you want to put in there, but a ton of storage space in there. Also, I didn't mention, you do get 2 places for water bottles on the side doors, and like that water bottle there, that's essentially what it's going to fit in the side doors there. And then talking about the seats, obviously I'm sitting in one, but these seats are quite comfortable. Obviously not the most comfortable thing I've sat in when it comes to a car, but still very comfortable overall. And you can see they have that 2-tone design.
You do get ambient lighting here in the car, and I had to show you at night because, at least from what I've gathered, this only turns on at night. You can't turn it on during the day. If you can, let me know how to do it, but I haven't figured that out yet. Now, the Elite trim is going to have the most ambient lighting. The Touring has a little bit less, and I don't think the EX has any. So on the Elite, you're going to get this light bar right here that's on the driver's side over here as well, and then you're going to get it across the dash. You're going to get it on your cup holders here, and you're going to get it on the ground, of course, by your feet there as well. Now you can change the color of this lighting just by going into the ambient lighting settings right here, and we can go ahead and select a color. So if I want to change it to red, you know, it's all going to go ahead and change to red. I can set it to blue. I can set it to yellow. Really easy to go ahead and do that. You can also adjust the brightness up or down really easily, and then you can turn it completely off if you don't want it on at all. You can also link it to your drive mode. I believe if you put this in sport, it will go to a different color that you select, but I haven't really messed with that. But pretty neat that you do get some ambient lighting in the car. Right above the center console is going to be all of your climate controls, and you can change the temperatures really easily just by going like this. Now you can have your passenger change theirs, or you can link these together. So if you're changing this one, that one will change if you go ahead and link them together. All of your buttons for everything are right there, and you can see it's that glossy black that's just going to get dirty because that's just how it is. Now, some things that are in here that are not in the EX or the Touring, or at least not in the EX, I don't think, is that one, you have heated seats on each side. So each side is going to have heated seats, but also cooling seats. To turn those on, you just press the button, and there's 3 different levels for each one. And that's the air conditioner seat. That's the heated seat. Really easy to go ahead and, you know, do the climate control while you're driving. You have 2 vents right here, and then you also have 1 vent there, and the passenger has 1 over there. In the center, of course, we have our infotainment system, and from what I know, this is the GM infotainment system. So if you're used to a Honda, this is going to be a little bit different for you, but you do get Android Auto as well as Apple CarPlay. I already have CarPlay set up because I have an iPhone. So if I go in here, I have all of my apps. You know, I can use Apple Maps. So if you're an Apple Maps person, you won't lose that functionality. So really easy to set those up. You do have some shortcuts. And one of the interesting things about this car is that your high beams are up here. They're not on the steering wheel, they're up here. So you toggle them by clicking in here. You can also toggle the 1-pedal driving just by doing that. So I turned it on. If I hit it again, I can turn it off. So it makes it kind of easy to access, but I'm still used to having high beams on the steering wheel. It is kind of weird that they're there. Now, everything in here is going to be all of your settings. I'm not going to go over everything, but you do have like a main settings menu here, which is going to have a lot of stuff that's going to do with the vehicle itself. Like if you go to settings and then vehicle, there's a ton of stuff that you can go ahead and set up. There's also your controls over here. And you can kind of, you know, these are like toggles for like the heads up display and some of the other stuff. It is all in here. You will find pretty much every setting for the car is going to be within this menu. Now, all of these icons, you can go ahead and move around pretty easily just by holding them in. And you can natively install apps on this. So this runs Android. So you can see I have like Waze, Spotify, PlugShare all installed. It's just, there's a Play Store, and you can go ahead and install apps if you want to. Now, the cool thing about installing apps natively is that they will pull data from the car. So, you know, if it's an app for mapping, it will pull like how much charge you have left and all of that. Now, this does have Google Assistant as well as Google Maps natively as well. So if we do go over to our maps here, one thing, you know, getting an electric car is like, where are the charging stations? So there's just the electricity bolt there in Google Maps, and it's going to find the closest charging stations. I think you can filter this by specific charging stations too, and all of that. And anytime you put anything into the maps, it's going to let you know, because it's reading data from the car, how much percentage of battery you have left. So that will give you an idea. This also does have Google Assistant, like I said, so I can say, hey, Google, give me directions to Target.
There's a Target 3.4 miles away. Want to navigate there?
So again, it gives you the directions. It's going to show me how much battery I have left, and we can select it. And of course, we can just say yes if we want to go there. Now, if you want to navigate to somewhere far further that's going to require a charge in between, you can do that as well. So if I get out of here and I go, hey Google, give me directions to the Palms Casino in Las Vegas.
Palms Casino Resort is 5 hours, 21 minutes from your location by car in light traffic.
So now we can see that it's going to put in charging stops. So we drive for an hour and 17 minutes, charge for 14 minutes, then we drive 19 minutes, 30 minutes. So it does show you where the charging stations are along the route, giving you enough time to recharge so you don't run out of battery. I haven't done a long-term road trip. I'll be going on one soon, so I'll let you guys know how that kind of works out. But this is the way to do it. I don't believe with CarPlay it does pull data from the car to show you charging stations or anything like that. But that's pretty much it for the infotainment system. Everything is really easy to access, and I haven't had really any issues with it. And again, I mainly just run CarPlay on it for me because I'm used to CarPlay, so it has everything that I need on there. Above the infotainment system, we have our rear view mirror, just a normal plain Jane rear view mirror, and that is kind of what you would see out of the rear view mirror back there. Above that, we have some controls. So we have our OnStar button. My car came with 3 months of OnStar for free. I don't use it, so I'll probably end up canceling it. I don't know if this is just a call button. Not sure what that one does. We have our SOS, which I believe that just calls OnStar. And then we have our four-way flashers up here, information on the airbags. We have our 2 lights. They just press like that. And again, I believe you can set the brightness of those. And then we have our controls for the moonroof. So we have a very large moonroof, which I do have fully closed here. Now, if you just want to open the cover, it's the center one, and you just press that up. And that's going to go ahead and just open the cover up just to show the moonroof. And you can see it is pretty big there, as you can see. And then if you want to open the window itself, this one, you just press it up. And you'll see how far that opens up. And then there is a little screen at the top so nothing comes flying in the car. Now, say you want to close this, so you close the window, but you just want a little bit of air in. I believe this one just tilts it open. So if we hit this one, yeah, it just, so let me close it again, and then I'll show you when I hit it, right? Yeah, it just tilts just to get a little bit of air in. So that's what that final button does. One last thing I did want to mention before we move to the back seats is that if you do leave something in the car, this is going to give you a reminder. Now, I don't have anything in the phone holder because I'm recording with my phone, but if you leave your phone, it's going to give you a reminder. And I do have some stuff in the back seat. So if I go ahead and I turn the car off, see it says rear seat reminder, look in rear seat. I also have my car keys in here. So if I get out and I go ahead and I'm going to close, see how it beeped at me? It will beep at you and let you know that you've left the keys in the car. Moving into the back here, here is what it's going to look like. 3 seats, and we do have really easy connections for ISOFIX. So if you are somebody who uses a car seat, really easy to access those. Also, mine did come with the mat here. I don't know if that's only on the Elite, but mine did come with a mat, and you will notice there is quite a lot of room because we don't have the normal drivetrain that you would have, say, like in a gas car. Now, if I get in here and I sit down, I have more than enough room. Like, there is a decent amount of room. I'm not necessarily the tallest person, but I have quite a lot of room here. We just have a spot here where you could put something, you know, right in the back of the seat. We have our air conditioner here, or our heat. Again, really easy to access for whoever's sitting in the back. There is this little holder here. Now, a phone doesn't fit in here horizontally, but you could angle it out and connect it down here to the 2 USB Type-C. There's also a full-on power connection in the back, which is pretty cool. Now, I'm not sure if this is only on the Elite, but I haven't seen it at least on the EX. So we have a full-on power connection there. And we do have, in the door here, we do have cup holders. So if I get this, it does sort of fit in there.
you can kind of fit it in there. Definitely like normal water bottle size things will fit there. So you have that there on the back, but the back is definitely very nice and spacious. Another thing I didn't mention about the back of the car is that you do get cup holders. They pull down like this for your passengers. Now these are much smaller than the ones that are in the front. So like even the smaller water bottle, and you have to kind of press it in there. So just normal water bottle size stuff is going to go ahead and fit in there. And then you do get a little bit of recline on these back seats. So there are buttons on each side right here. You pull this button and then go back and it reclines just slightly. So I'll put it back in its normal spot. And then again, it just reclines back slightly. And then you can put these fully down. So same button goes fully down. And again, both go fully down. They don't go fully to the ground. You can see there's a slight angle, but it gives you, of course, more room to put things in the back of the car. Opening up the back here is really easy. As long as the car's unlocked, you just tap right here and it's going to go ahead and automatically open up. Now you can set the height of how far this goes up. So if you're in a smaller garage, it's not going to hit the ceiling or anything like that. Now, if you want to go ahead and close it, there's just a button right here. Makes it really, really easy. Now, alternatively, if you do have your keys, there is a button on here that you tap twice and it's going to go ahead and unlock. So if I tap it twice, 1, 2, it's going to go ahead and unlock. Again, really easy to go ahead and do that. It opens right up. And again, I think if I double tap it again, it will go ahead and close. So really easy to do. Now, you can also do it with kicking under the car. So again, just make sure everything is unlocked. And I just put my foot, I believe, like right there. Let's try it again. Oh, maybe I need to go further under. There it goes. So there is a little light. It's kind of hard to see that is under there that shows you where you put your foot, but you can do it like that. So if your hands are full, again, you can do it to close as well. There it goes. So it closes. So I had to get used to where to put my foot, but really easy to go ahead and do that. Now in the back of the vehicle, you have a lot of room, definitely a lot more room than I'm used to having, of course, in my Honda Civic here. Now there is some extra space under here. So if you lift this mat up, you just press on this and lift up, and we have quite a lot of space here. I have a bunch of stuff in here, but we have a lot of space, as you can see, especially down in here. Like I have a ton of stuff down in here and it's really easy to access. So it's nice that you have all of that extra space. All right, so this should give you an idea of what it's going to be like to drive in the car. Again, your shift is right here. So we're going to go ahead and put it in drive here. So that's down. That puts us in drive and we're good to go. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to show up on the video, but I do have the heads-up display on, and that is only in the Elite model. So only in the Elite model are you going to get the heads-up display, but I'm not sure if you're going to see it in the video because you can't see it from the side. So I'm not exactly sure. If not, I'll put a video showing you what it actually looks like when I am using it. Now this drives incredibly smooth. It is such a smooth ride. Again, I'm coming from a Civic, so it is going to be a little different, right? From coming from a Civic, just because this is a larger car, and a larger car is going to, again, just be a lot smoother. It does have the one pedal driving, which took me a little bit of time to get used to, but it, you know, it's pretty easy once you get used to it. I kind of just always drive with it. You can turn that on and off if you want to, but overall it is a very, very smooth drive. I can see everything. Again, coming from a smaller car, it is pretty easy. Like I said, you know, I can see everything. There's no like weird blind spot or anything like that. Your blinker is going to be over here. So if I'm turning, we go ahead and turn pretty easily here. No problem at all. So yeah, it's really, really comfortable drive. As you can see, the turning radius on this is really good too. So when you do turn, the car turns. It doesn't feel like a massively large SUV. When I do park here,
and I go into park, I can go over here and I hit camera, and it's going to show me the front camera on the vehicle, which is right here. And then it's going to give me the 360 view. You can also see this way, and this gives you an idea of everything. And you can see the sides as well. So you get like all views of everything, which is great. And again, you get that 360 view. So if you're trying to parallel park, you can kind of see where you're going. Now, as I get closer, the sensors on the front will go and let me know how close I am to that curb right there on the front. Now, if I want to reverse, anytime you put the car in reverse, so again, go like that, you put the car in reverse and you're gonna see that reverse mirror, and I have, or reverse camera, and I have the mirror set to angle down when I'm reversing. You have to turn that on here in the settings, but I have. But again, when you back up, you get that great 360 view and you can see everything, which again, is just really, really awesome. When you get your car, Honda should set you up with the Honda Link app at the dealership. They did for me. Really easy to go ahead and get this set up. This gives you some basic information on your car and allows you to do a few things. So you can see it shows me my total range right here, what percentage of battery I have. You can initiate your charge from this app, and you can change your charge settings, like what percent you want it to charge to, all of that. You get an active readout of your tire pressure and all of that right there. You can see the odometer. You have directions, so you can send directions to the car. So say you're going somewhere the next morning, you can send the directions to the car. So when you get in the car, the directions will already be there and you'll be good to go. There's some support, emergency services. You can schedule service. You can see your vehicle profile, and then the remote commands are at the bottom. So you just swipe up from the bottom. And under those remote commands, we can turn on your climate, or like turn the air conditioner on remotely, lock and unlock the car remotely, locate your car if you can't find it, turn on the lights, and use the horn. So you can do all that remotely. Pretty simple app for controlling the car. So that's it for my review here of the Honda Prologue. This is my first SUV that I've owned and my first EV. And honestly, the transition from a gas car to an EV is pretty easy. Once you figure out the charging, if you have a home charger, if you have to figure out EVgo and ChargePoint, it's not that hard at all. And I haven't had a situation, at least not yet, where I was like worried to charge the car. Everything has been great. I really like the tech that's in this vehicle. Everything has been awesome so far. Now, I've only had this for about a week, like I said, so this isn't like an in-depth or a long-term review, but so far I am really happy, and hopefully this video answered some of those questions you might have had about this car. But like I said, I am happy so far. So if you guys did have any questions, definitely leave them in the comment section below, and we'll see you guys in the next video.